Hiya, crafty folks. Amy here with Amy's Wares, and I have a grad card batch, which includes my mistakes. So I have some awesome stencils from A Colorful Life Designs. I will link everything as well as the stencil names in the video description box below if you expand and scroll down. But here's the two cards that we're going to make. I was able to use some pre-batched goodies like backgrounds, but I did make some mistakes along the way. So I did leave those mistakes in. I'm going to show you what happened and what I did to work around the mistakes and kind of redirect. So I'm just shopping my background box. This was formerly a chocolate box, but it's the perfect size to hold a bunch of A2 size panels that haven't been turned into cards yet. So I am actually making two graduation cards. I am going to a grad party soon for twins. And I thought I would make both of these cards using some awesome stencils and some pre-made backgrounds. So I have the backgrounds that I'm going to use, and this nice rainbow one, I'm going to use this Happy Caps stencil and some blackjack ink from 𝗵𝗵𝗆. So I'm just pressing this down on my makeshift workstation. It's just a sticky mat from 𝗵𝗏𝗍 on top of a cake decorating turntable. Sadly, I don't have a link for the turntable because it's over 25 years old. It's back from my cake decorating days, so I don't have a link for it, but I'm sure you can find something similar. Now, I recently re-inked all of my 𝗵𝗵𝗆 ink pads, and you can see tragedy strikes. It was way too juicy and I was way too heavy-handed. So I had to abandon that background, sadly, and grab another similar one and then just basically come at it with a lot less ink on the blending brush. So if you've just re-inked your ink pads, or if you have a brand new one from 𝗵𝗵𝗆, just maybe test it out a little bit on some scrap paper and make sure that your ink pad isn't too juicy if you're going to work with a stencil, because what can happen is it can really get underneath your stencil and basically make a mess of it. So I could maybe find a way to fix that, but since I had a background that was so similar, I said whatever. I just grabbed a different one and then went on to the next. Now on this one, I made a little bit of a mistake too, but I'll show you what I did to fix that. Nothing is, groundbreaking here. It's just ways to kind of work around it if you don't want to bin it like I did the last one. So this one I don't want to bin. So when I made a mistake here, I just thought, well, an easy fix for this one, let's just say. So I'm doing some ink blending again. I'm not getting up underneath the stencil too bad, but I think I blended too hard and kind of lifted it up, because you guys know I can be a little rough, and I blended like a lumberjack. And then look at this huge section off to the side of the left where it lifted up. But thankfully my WOOT die cut was the perfect size to cover it up, so I didn't need to abandon that one. I was able to keep it. Now this is a Proud of You die cut. This is from 𝗷𝗏𝗍, and I just ink blended it with the same blackjack ink, and then I die cut this panel with this cool forgot what it's called. I'll link it below. It's got all these little wonky rectangles that it cuts out, and then the other one I did a deckled edge rectangle die. Now I'm going to stamp both of these with my custom stamp from Jessica Lynn Originals, so they know they're handmade. And I picked some bling, Crystal Iris Aurora Borealis and Crystal Metallic Safari, and I put all the parts together, covering up my mistakes, and put some sentiments on the inside, and that's going to finish the card. So super easy, good way to use up some of my backgrounds that maybe were just kind of a little meh on their own and needed a little something else. So brought them to the next level with some cool stencils. Now if you shop for anything in A Colorful Life Designs, be sure to use my coupon and save on your complete order, Amy Fan 10. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.